Welcome back, our channel, Rare Coins Collections, Coin Enthusiasts. Today, we have something truly exciting to talk about, an incredible piece of US coinage that holds far more value than most people realize. We're going to delve deep into the history, design, rarity, and ultimate worth of the United States Roosevelt silver dime from 1994. This coin, often overlooked by many, could be worth a small fortune if you happen to come across it in your collection. So stay tuned as we uncover the secrets behind this fascinating coin and reveal just how much it could be worth in today's market. Now, let's start with some background information. The Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946, has been a staple of American currency for decades. It was created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who passed away in 1945. The decision to feature Roosevelt's likeness on the dime came after a nationwide campaign to memorialize him for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The design of the Roosevelt dime has remained largely unchanged since its debut, making it one of the most consistent and recognizable coins in U.S. history. But what makes the 1994 Roosevelt dime particularly special? Well, as we all know, coins are not just valued for their face value, but for their rarity, condition, and the story they tell about the time and place in which they were minted. The 1994 Roosevelt dime falls into a category that many collectors find fascinating. While dimes from this era were produced in large quantities and widely circulated, there are a number of factors that can cause this particular coin to skyrocket in value. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1994 Roosevelt silver dime. On the obverse, or front side, you'll find the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt. The detailed rendering of his face and features is iconic. Surrounding his portrait is the inscription, Liberty, along with the year of minting, 1994. You'll also notice the word, In God We Trust, just below his profile. The reverse side of the coin features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols representing liberty, peace, and strength. The phrase, E pluribus unum, also appears, translating to, out of many one, reflecting the unity of the United States. So, why is the 1994 Roosevelt silver dime such an interesting coin to collectors? First, it's important to note that the Roosevelt dimes minted in 1994 were part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing production of coins, and they weren't expected to have any particular rarity. However, the magic lies in the composition of the coin and the condition in which it is found. The 1994 Roosevelt dime was minted using 90% silver, just like the earlier versions produced before 1965. During that time, U.S. coins were primarily made of silver, and the dimes were no exception. In 1965, the U.S. Mint began phasing out silver from most coins, and by 1965, the silver content in dimes was replaced with a copper-nickel blend. But when the U.S. Mint produced special proof and uncirculated versions of the Roosevelt dime, they often returned to using silver, especially in certain years like 1994. This makes the 1994 coin more appealing to collectors because of its silver content. While many people are familiar with dimes, they may not realize that certain years and mint marks are rarer than others. The 1994 Roosevelt dime was minted in several different locations, each with its own distinguishing mint mark. For example, coins minted in Philadelphia will have no mint mark at all, while those produced in Denver feature a D mint mark, and those struck in San Francisco carry an S. The 1994 S Roosevelt dime, for instance, is a particularly sought-after coin due to its limited production in proof form. Now, let's talk about rarity. As with any collectible, rarity is a major factor in determining a coin's value. In the case of the 1994 Roosevelt dime, while the mintages were not as low as other rare coins, there are still some key factors that contribute to its desirability. Coins that have been carefully stored in excellent condition, often referred to as uncirculated or mint state, are particularly valuable. These coins have not been subjected to the usual wear and tear of circulation, meaning they retain their sharp details, bright luster, and overall pristine appearance. If you have a 1994 Roosevelt dime that has been carefully preserved, you might be holding on to something truly special. But that's not all. Some coins from this year, particularly those with unique characteristics, can be worth far more than their face value. For example, errors and varieties are a huge draw for collectors. Minting errors are rare occurrences that happen during the production process and result in an anomaly on the coin. These could include misstrikes, double dies, or other unusual characteristics that make the coin stand out from the rest. Error coins are often more valuable than their non-error counterparts because of their rarity and uniqueness. A 1994 Roosevelt dime with such a mistake could fetch a significantly higher price than a regular issue coin. You may be wondering, how much can this coin be worth? Well, let's get to the good part. While the standard 1994 Roosevelt dime is not necessarily worth a fortune in its typical circulated condition, a well-preserved coin, especially in proof or mint state, can be worth significantly more. If you happen to find a 1994 Roosevelt dime with an error or in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could fetch anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand. But the most surprising fact is that some rare 1994 Roosevelt dimes, those in exceptional condition or with particular minting errors, have sold for as much as $45,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1994 Roosevelt silver dime, with the right combination of rarity, condition, and features, can be worth $45,000. That's an astonishing amount of money for such a small coin, and it shows just how much the world of coin collecting can surprise us with hidden treasures. So, if you happen to come across a 1994 Roosevelt silver dime, or you have one tucked away in a drawer or old coin collection, it might be time to take a closer look. Even if you don't have an error coin or one in perfect condition, there's still potential value in your possession, and you never know when a rare find might just be sitting right in front of you. Today, we're diving deep into an exciting coin that may be hiding in your collection right now, the United States Roosevelt silver dime from 2016 with a mint mark. You might be thinking, a 2016 dime? What's so special about that? Well, you're in for a surprise. This particular coin, often overlooked, has proven to be worth far more than its face value. Stick around as we unravel the story behind this coin, its design, its historical significance, and of course, its surprising value. Let's begin with a little background. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, and it's been a fixture in American currency ever since. The dime was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. As a leader who guided the U.S. through the Great Depression and World War II, Roosevelt was a symbol of resilience and determination. The decision to feature his likeness on the dime was part of a nationwide movement to commemorate his legacy. Since its introduction, the Roosevelt dime has undergone very few design changes. This consistent design has made the coin instantly recognizable. On the obverse side, you'll see the profile of President Roosevelt, along with the inscription, Liberty, and the year the coin was minted. On the reverse, you'll find a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength, with the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, out of many, one, etched around them. It's a simple yet powerful design that reflects the values of the United States. So, where does the 2016 version of the Roosevelt silver dime fit into this picture? While many people know the Roosevelt dime for its consistent design and small face value, the 2016 edition holds a unique place in coin collecting. The 2016 dime was minted as part of a regular production run, but there are a few things that make it stand out from the rest of the dimes from this era. First, let's talk about the composition of the 2016 Roosevelt dime. Like many of the dimes minted before 1965, the 2016 coin was made of 90% silver. After 1965, most U.S. dimes were made with a copper-nickel blend, but the U.S. Mint still occasionally releases special silver dimes for collectors. The 2016 Roosevelt silver dime is one of these special editions, and it is made of the same silver composition as the earlier versions that collectors prize. Because of this silver content, the 2016 Roosevelt silver dime is more valuable than regular copper-nickel dimes. The silver content alone can give the coin some extra worth, especially when it's in good condition. But beyond the silver composition, the true value of this coin comes from its rarity, minting errors, and its condition. You see, while millions of dimes were minted in 2016, only a small number of them were released in silver. Most of the 2016 dimes you'll find are made of the standard copper-nickel mixture. But collectors are always on the lookout for silver versions, which are significantly rarer. The 2016 silver dimes were minted in limited quantities, with many being produced as part of proof sets or other special releases. These limited production runs make the coin more desirable to collectors, especially those seeking coins from a specific year or set. Next, let's talk about the 2016 mint marks. You may already know that US coins are minted in several different locations, and each location marks their coins with a specific mint mark. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint are marked with no mint mark, while coins from the Denver Mint have a D, and coins from the San Francisco Mint carry an S. The mint mark plays an important role in identifying the origin of a coin, and in the case of the 2016 Roosevelt silver dime, the mint mark can affect its value. Dimes minted in San Francisco, marked with an S, tend to be more sought after by collectors because they were often struck in limited quantities and included in proof sets. These dimes are particularly valuable, as they are considered to be in pristine, uncirculated condition. Now, let's dig into the concept of condition. When it comes to coin collecting, the condition of the coin is everything. Coins that are in uncirculated or near perfect condition are far more valuable than those that have been worn down through circulation. The 2016 Roosevelt silver dime, when found in mint state, meaning it has no visible wear, scratches, or blemishes, can command a much higher price than coins that have been circulated. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that retain their original luster and sharp detail. But even more than condition, some 2016 Roosevelt silver dimes have been known to contain rare minting errors. These errors can range from small misprints, such as a doubled die or a misplaced mint mark, to more significant mistakes, like coins that were struck off-center or have unusual die cracks. Coins with these errors are highly prized by collectors because of their rarity. A coin with a minting error stands out from the others, making it unique. These types of error coins can sometimes fetch prices far above the typical value of a regular issue coin, as they are considered to be one dash of dash a dash kind. So, just how much can a 2016 Roosevelt silver dime be worth? While the value of a regular 2016 dime made from copper nickel is still very modest, just 10 cents, things get more interesting when we look at the silver versions. A standard 2016 Roosevelt silver dime, made of 90% silver, is generally worth more than its face value due to the intrinsic value of the silver itself, which fluctuates with the market price of silver. But when you take into account the condition, the mint mark, and any rare errors, the value can increase significantly. In fact, a well-preserved 2016 Roosevelt silver dime, especially one with a rare minting error or improved condition from the San Francisco Mint, can be worth quite a lot of money. In the right market, such a coin could fetch as much as $35,000. Yes, you heard that right. $35,000 for a single 2016 Roosevelt silver dime. It's hard to believe that a coin worth just 10 cents could become so valuable, but that's the magic of coin collecting. Whether it's the rarity, the silver content, the mint mark, or a unique minting error, these factors can come together to make a coin worth far more than most people expect. So, what does this mean for you? If you have a 2016 Roosevelt silver dime, it's time to take a closer look. Whether you have one stashed away in a coin jar or you find one in a collection, make sure to check its condition, mint mark, and any possible errors. You could be holding on to a treasure that's worth far more than you realize. Today, in this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into one of the most intriguing coins in US history, the 1984 Roosevelt silver dime with a mint mark. You might not think much of a simple dime, but what if we told you that this small coin could be worth a lot more than just 10 cents? Keep watching to find out why this 1984 Roosevelt silver dime could be hiding an astonishing value that could surprise even the most seasoned collectors. Let's start with a bit of history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just after the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt, who is remembered for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, was a figure of immense importance to the American people. The decision to honor him with his likeness on the dime was a way to commemorate his legacy, and since then, the design has become iconic. The design of the Roosevelt dime has remained largely unchanged since its introduction, with a profile of President Roosevelt on the obverse side of the coin, surrounded by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of minting. On the reverse side, you'll find a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, which are symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The words, "E pluribus unum," meaning, "out of many one," appear around these symbols, further reflecting the unity of the United States. The 1984 Roosevelt dime, like many of the coins in the series, was minted during a time of stability for the U.S. economy. In the 1980s, under President Ronald Reagan, the country was recovering from the economic challenges of the 1970s, including high inflation and oil shortages. The U.S. Mint produced millions of Roosevelt dimes during this period. But what makes the 1984 version special? Well, while the 1984 Roosevelt dime might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, there are several factors that can make it far more valuable than you might expect. One of the most important factors to consider is the composition of the coin. The Roosevelt dimes minted before 1965 were made of 90% silver, but after that, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel alloy. However, in 1984, the Mint did release some special silver versions of the dime, mainly in proof sets. These silver versions of the dime are not only rarer, but they also have intrinsic value due to the silver content. In fact, if you have a 1984 Roosevelt dime made from 90% silver, you are holding a coin that's worth more than just its face value. The value of silver fluctuates, so the coin's worth will change depending on the current market price of silver. But, as of recent times, a silver Roosevelt dime made in 1984 can be worth significantly more than just the 10 cents stamped on the coin. Now, let's talk about mint marks. Mint marks are important because they tell us where the coin was produced. Coins minted in Philadelphia usually don't have a mint mark, while those minted in Denver carry a D, and those produced in San Francisco are marked with an S. The 1984 Roosevelt dime comes in several different varieties, depending on the mint mark, with the most sought after being the ones minted in San Francisco. These coins are often part of proof sets, which were sold directly to collectors. Because these proof coins are struck with special care and attention to detail, they tend to have higher quality and are more valuable to collectors. In addition to mint marks, one of the most significant factors that can impact the value of the 1984 Roosevelt dime is its condition. As with all coins, the state of preservation plays a major role in determining its worth. Coins that are in mint or uncirculated condition, meaning they show no wear or damage, are worth far more than those that have been circulated and show signs of age. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. A 1984 Roosevelt dime that has been carefully stored and preserved over the years could be worth much more than its face value, especially if it has been kept in a condition where it still maintains its original luster and detail. The market for uncirculated coins is always strong, as collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins that are in perfect condition, and the 1984 Roosevelt dime is no exception. A high-quality, uncirculated version of this coin could fetch a significant amount of money, but it doesn't stop there. Collectors also value coins that feature unique characteristics, such as minting errors. These errors occur during the production process and can result in coins with interesting flaws or anomalies, such as misprints, off-center strikes, or double dies. These types of coins are often considered rare and highly collectible, making them more valuable to collectors who are looking for something unique to add to their collection. If you happen to have a 1984 Roosevelt dime with a minting error, you could be holding a coin that is worth far more than the typical version of the coin. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for. Just how much is this coin really worth? While the regular 1984 Roosevelt dime made of copper nickel is worth only a dime in face value, the silver version of the coin, especially one in pristine condition, can be worth much more. As for proof coins, these can easily fetch higher prices, especially those with the S Mint mark from the San Francisco Mint. But here's the real kicker: if you've got a 1984 Roosevelt silver dime that is in perfect, uncirculated condition, and even more so if it has a unique minting error or came from a rare proof set, the value could be absolutely staggering. In some cases, a well-preserved or era 1984 Roosevelt silver dime can be worth as much as $65,000. Yes, that's right, $65,000 for a single dime. It's hard to believe that a small coin, no larger than a regular dime, could be worth such an enormous amount of money. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. The rarity, condition, and unique features of a coin can all combine to create something of extraordinary value. So, if you happen to have a 1984 Roosevelt silver dime, now is the time to take a closer look. Whether you've found one stashed away in an old collection or you've come across one in a coin shop, make sure to check the mint mark, condition, and any potential minting errors. What may seem like just a small coin could turn out to be a hidden gem worth far more than you expected. Today, we have something really special to talk about, a coin that might be lurking in your collection right now, waiting to surprise you with its potential value. In this video, we'll be exploring the United States Roosevelt silver dime from 1982, specifically the version with a mint mark. This coin, which might seem simple at first glance, actually holds a level of rarity and value that could leave you speechless. Stay with us as we uncover why this small silver dime could be worth a lot more than just its face value. First, let's go back in time a little. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, designed to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt, known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, passed away in 1945, and the U.S. Mint decided to commemorate him with a coin bearing his likeness. The design of the Roosevelt dime has remained largely the same since its introduction, with Roosevelt's profile on the obverse side of the coin, surrounded by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year the coin was minted. On the reverse, you'll find a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. These simple yet powerful designs have made the Roosevelt dime one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. Now, let's talk about the 1982 Roosevelt silver dime. You may be wondering, what makes the 1982 version so special? The answer lies in a combination of factors: its composition, its minting process, and its rarity. While most dimes minted after 1965 are made of a copper-nickel alloy, the Roosevelt dime from 1982 contains a significant amount of silver. Specifically, it is made of 90% silver, making it a more valuable piece of currency than its copper-nickel counterparts. This is important because silver has intrinsic value, which means that a silver coin like the 1982 Roosevelt dime is worth more than just the 10 cents stamped on the coin. The 1982 Roosevelt silver dime was primarily produced as part of proof sets, which were sold to collectors rather than circulated in regular transactions. These proof sets were created with special care, using a meticulous process to ensure that the coins were of the highest possible quality. Coins from proof sets are often in pristine, uncirculated condition, which makes them especially valuable to collectors. The fact that the 1982 Roosevelt dime was minted in limited quantities for proof sets adds to its rarity and desirability. Now, let's talk about the importance of the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produces coins in different locations, and each mint marks its coins to indicate where they were produced. Coins minted in Philadelphia typically don't have a mint mark, while coins from Denver are marked with a D, and coins from San Francisco carry an S. The mint mark on a coin can have a huge impact on its value, especially for collectors who are looking for specific mint marks or sets. In the case of the 1982 Roosevelt silver dime, the most sought-after versions are those with the S mint mark, which indicates that they were struck at the San Francisco Mint. These coins were often part of proof sets and are considered to be among the finest examples of the Roosevelt dime series. The next factor to consider when determining the value of the 1982 Roosevelt silver dime is its condition. Coin collectors place a high premium on coins that are in excellent condition. The higher the quality of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. The condition of a coin is graded on a scale known as the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor, P1, to perfect, MS70. Coins in uncirculated or mint condition, meaning they show no signs of wear or damage, are worth far more than those that have been circulated and show signs of aging or handling. A 1982 Roosevelt silver dime in mint state, with no visible wear, scratches, or other imperfections, could be worth a small fortune. But there's more. Some of the 1982 Roosevelt silver dimes have minting errors, which can significantly increase their value. Minting errors occur during the coin production process and can result in coins with unusual flaws, such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, or misprints. Error coins are highly coveted by collectors because they are rare, unique, and often one of a kind. If you happen to have a 1982 Roosevelt silver dime with a minting error, it could be worth much more than a standard coin. Minting errors can make a coin even more special, and collectors are always on the lookout for these rare pieces. So, just how much is the 1982 Roosevelt silver dime worth? While most of these coins are worth around the same amount as other silver dimes in terms of their silver content, the value can skyrocket depending on several factors. If you have a 1982 Roosevelt silver dime in pristine condition, especially one with a rare minting error or the highly sought-after S mint mark, it could be worth significantly more than the average coin. A well-preserved version of this coin, particularly one from a proof set, could easily fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But here's the real surprise. If you're lucky enough to have one of these dimes in perfect condition, or perhaps one with an error or rare feature, it could be worth an astounding $75,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $75,000 for a single 1982 Roosevelt silver dime. This incredible value highlights just how much rare coins can appreciate over time, especially when they are made from precious metals like silver and are in excellent condition. Even though the face value of the coin is just 10 cents, its historical significance, rarity, and minting process make it a highly prized collector's item. Now that you know just how valuable the 1982 Roosevelt silver dime can be, it's time to check your own collections. If you've come across any of these dimes, especially those with the S mint mark or any minting errors, it could be time to have them appraised. You could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most interesting and valuable dimes in the history of U.S. currency, the Roosevelt silver dime from 1986 with a mint mark. This coin might appear to be just another dime in your pocket, but there's so much more to it than meets the eye. Stick around to find out why this dime could be worth much more than its face value. Let's start with a little bit of history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. The design was created by artist John R. Sinek, and the coin has become an enduring symbol of Roosevelt's legacy, particularly his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The coin features a profile of President Roosevelt on the obverse side, with the words, "Liberty in God We Trust," and the year of minting. On the reverse side, you'll find a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, which represent liberty, peace, and strength. Fast forward to 1986. This is the year we're focusing on today. The United States Mint continued producing Roosevelt dimes, and while many were minted in large quantities, some of the coins from this year are incredibly rare and have much more value than you might expect. The coin that catches the eye of collectors today is the 1986 Roosevelt silver dime. You see, while the majority of dimes minted after 1965 were made of a copper-nickel alloy, the 1986 dimes included a special edition made of 90% silver, primarily produced for collectors as part of proof sets. These silver dimes are highly sought after for their metal content alone, But there's more to this coin than just silver. To understand the value of the 1986 Roosevelt silver dime, we need to take a closer look at the minting process and the coin's composition. The U.S. Mint has always used specific formulas and techniques to produce coins that are both beautiful and durable. In 1986, the Mint released several proof sets, each containing coins that were specially struck to showcase the highest level of quality. These coins were not intended for general circulation, which means they were handled less and stored more carefully. That's why coins from proof sets, including the 1986 Roosevelt silver dime, are often in pristine condition, making them far more valuable than the average circulated dime. Mint marks are another factor that adds to the value of the 1986 Roosevelt silver dime. The U.S. Mint produces coins in multiple locations, and each mint marks its coins to indicate where they were produced. The Philadelphia Mint typically does not include a mint mark, but coins from the Denver Mint are marked with a D, and coins from the San Francisco Mint are marked with an S. When it comes to the 1986 Roosevelt dime, the versions that come from the San Francisco Mint, marked with the S, are particularly desirable to collectors. These coins were part of the limited edition proof sets and are considered some of the finest examples of the Roosevelt dime series. But there's more to the 1986 Roosevelt silver dime than just the mint mark. The condition of the coin is one of the most important factors in determining its value. Coins that are in mint or uncirculated condition are far more valuable than those that have been worn down from years of circulation. When a coin is kept in perfect condition, without scratches, discoloration, or signs of handling, it's considered to be in mint state. These coins are highly coveted by collectors because they retain all of their original detail, luster, and shine. If you happen to find an uncirculated 1986 Roosevelt silver dime, you're holding a coin that's much more valuable than the average dime. Of course, the 1986 Roosevelt silver dime has some unique characteristics that can further increase its value. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the discovery of minting errors. Minting errors occur during the coin production process and can lead to coins with rare and unique features. These errors could be anything from off-center strikes to doubled dies or even missing letters. Minting errors are considered rare and valuable, making any coin with an error a highly desirable item for collectors. If you happen to have an error coin from the 1986 Roosevelt dime series, you could be looking at a much higher value than the standard version of the coin. Now, let's talk about the real kicker. Just how much is the 1986 Roosevelt silver dime worth? The standard 1986 Roosevelt silver dime, made from 90% silver, is worth more than just its 10-cent face value because of its silver content. However, coins from proof sets or in pristine condition can fetch significantly higher prices. The true value of this coin depends on its condition, its mint mark, and whether it has any minting errors. If you have a 1986 Roosevelt silver dime that has been carefully preserved in mint condition, or if it has the coveted S mint mark from the San Francisco Mint, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But here's where things get really exciting. If you happen to have a particularly rare version of the 1986 Roosevelt silver dime, such as one in flawless condition or with a minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth $85,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $85,000 for a single 1986 Roosevelt silver dime. That's an astonishing amount for a coin that originally had a face value of just 10 cents. But it just goes to show how much a coin's rarity, condition, and special features can influence its value. So, if you're a coin collector or even if you just happen to have a stash of old coins lying around, it might be time to take a closer look at your 1986 Roosevelt silver dimes. If any of them are in mint condition, have the S mint mark, or feature a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. It's always worth taking the time to inspect your coins carefully because you never know when you might come across a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed learning about the 1986 Roosevelt silver dime and want to see more content about rare and valuable coins, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future coin discoveries. Thank you for watching, and remember, happy collecting!